In this video, we're going to be talking about blade templating, and blade templating allows us to use a new syntax instead of using PHP inside of our views file. So we can still always use the traditional PHP, but Blade provides us with this awesome syntax that we can make our code much cleaner. So let's go ahead and go back to our routes web.php, and if we scroll down, we created this new route called myPage that then renders a view called mypage.php. And if we go to localhost 8000/mypage, then we will print out this view. So if we go back to the view, you can see here that we did an echo var1, echo var2, and instead of doing these echoes, Blade actually provides some syntax that we can use to make our code a lot more readable and a lot cleaner. So instead of echoing out using the traditional PHP, we can just use the curly braces. We can use double curly braces and it will print out the variable. So let's go ahead and duplicate this for variable 1, variable 2, and variable 3. So if I go ahead and save this and I reload the page, you're actually going to see that it's just going to print out what we displayed on the page, and it's not rendering it as a Blade or a PHP file. So let's go ahead and change this from mypage.php to mypage.blade.php. And now we'll recognize that it is a Blade syntax file, and it can render these Blade syntax as PHP. So if we reload the page, we will now get an output that we expected because we are now able to use the Blade syntax instead of using our PHP. So we could always use PHP inside of here if we wanted. So we do the same thing, echo var1. So we can use as much PHP as we wanted to, but we can also use the Blade syntax if we would like. So let me go ahead and show you another example. Let's say that we have an if statement. So I'm going to say if var1 equals, and I'm going to say hamburgers. Okay, and then inside of this if statement, we want to just print out, I love hamburgers. And let's add a break tag right there. And then we also need to close our if statement. So let's go ahead and save that and let's reload. And we do not get this printed out. And that's actually because it's not hamburgers, it's singular. So let's go ahead and save that. Let's reload. And sure enough, we get I love hamburgers, and then we get each of the variables displayed on the screen. So instead of using this PHP, we could use Blade, and we could say @if var1 equals hamburger, and then we could just print it out, I love hamburgers, and we need to make sure that we tell the syntax when to finish the if statement. So we'll say end if. So if we save that and we reload, we're going to get the exact same output, but instead of using the PHP if syntax, we have used Blade syntax, and you can see that it looks quite a bit cleaner. We just have this @if variable 1 equals hamburger, and then we print this out, and then we end the if statement. So one more thing that I do want to show you is a for each statement. So let's say that we passed all of our orders inside of our data array. So we have a new variable called orders, and that is just going to contain all of the orders in our database. So let's go ahead and print out each of these orders in an unordered list. So let's create our unordered list, and then inside of PHP, we'll say for each orders as order. And we got to make sure that we close that for each statement. And then let's go ahead and print out each of these in a list item. So we'll print out the order name. So let's go ahead and save that. Let's reload. And now you can see that we have all of the orders in our database printed out on the screen inside of our for each statement. So pretty simple stuff, but if we wanted to use Blade syntax, this could look a lot cleaner. So instead of just opening the PHP tags, we can again just use the @ symbol and say for each orders as order. And then down here, we need to tell it when to end the for each. So we'll just say @end for each. And instead of using this PHP echo, we can just use the shorthand and use the curly braces to echo out the order name. So let's go ahead and add that, and let's save this and reload, and now we're getting the exact same output. So you can see how much cleaner this looks than the PHP syntax, and Blade makes it really easy to write clean and manageable code inside of your views. So I would recommend checking out the full Blade documentation on the Laravel website, but this was just a quick crash course into Blade templating. Hey guys, thanks for checking out this Laravel Basics video. Laravel is a really cool framework that allows us to build these really cool applications And one of those applications that I have built is the Dev Dojo. So if you check out devdojo.com, it's a learning resource for all things web development, including Laravel. I've just added a new section which includes ebooks that you can download, and it's just a whole bunch of resources for you to get better at web development. So thanks again for checking out this video, and I hope you go over to the devdojo.com and check it out.